You've never heard of Youngstown.
You will.
Do you want a geography lesson, or may I speak to Mr. Morgan? Ah, Mr. Morgan, good morning. How are you? Yes, I know you've been trying to reach me. I have emails, I have scans, I have Twitter and Facebook and telephone messages, lots of them. I've been out in the plant trying to get a couple of things under control. I understand that you're making leases up and down the Mahoning Valley and you need pipe in order to do your, I understand that. I understand, Mr. Morgan. But we have a couple of problems here. The first problem is a man named Lefty, some sort of agitator who thinks he's the second coming of someone or other. No, I can't fire him or the whole plant would walk out. Yeah. We're trying to deal with it. Okay? Second problem. Of course we're non-union, thank God. No more 13-week vacations, early shutdown benefits, and all that crap. But the problem, Mr. Morgan, is that people still have some stuff between their ears. I was talking to a young man just the other day. He said, our family doesn't cross picket lines. That's the kind of bullshit I have to deal with every day. And the worst of it is that it's all hypocritical. You know as well as I do, these guys talk about solidarity, about an injury to one is an injury to all. They cut their grandmother's throat for 10 cents more on the night shift. So here's the thing. I'm doing the best I can, Mr. Morgan, but you've got to understand I can't just press a button and make things happen out here. Well, who do I see coming? Yeah?
Good afternoon, sir.
Who the hell are you?
We're the committee.
What committee? I run things here.
Yeah, we know you the boss, but you don't boss the work, you boss the plant. We're here to represent the people.
But what do you want?
Well, for starters, there's safety problems. We made a list of over 33 safety violations. We sent that to you weeks ago. The most important one is the trucks backing up in the pit. They're big, heavy trucks. They make a lot of noise. It's hard to hear them. The trucks need some kind of a safety siren or horn system put on the back so as soon as they're put in reverse, people in that area can hear them. And then there's the pickling department. A guy almost passed out there the other day.
You got these little piss pot problems. Take them up with your foreman.
He says only you can make those decisions.
You bastards, I am out of here.
Just like you always passing a buck.
Where's Lefty?
Where's Lefty?
Lefty!
We want to hear
Where's
from
Lefty?
Lefty!
Where's he at?
Where is
Honest to God, don't know where Lefty is. He was on the day shift. He should be here by now. I agree. We should hear from Lefty before we decide on anything. Brothers and sisters, we're the committee. We're trying to do the best we can. There isn't anybody here who hasn't gone through some crap. My wife looked at my last paycheck and said, Jim, this is too little. You're working for the company. You're not working for your family anymore. And then just the other day, what's that paper in your hand, Deb?
Oh, it's from the sheriff's office. There's a foreclosure action on the house.
Deb, I depend on you to make the mortgage and pay the bills.
You depend on me. Jim, I don't even know what to say to that. You know what? Yes, I do. You know, as soon as you deposit your paycheck every 2 weeks, I'm jumping on this insane carousel to see who gets what and when and where. When the mortgage is paid, the gas and electric wait, and there's a partial payment on the phone. If the phone and mortgage and gas get paid, the electric has to wait. This is crazy. It didn't used to be this way, Jim. Things have gotten crazy, and it's nothing you or I did wrong.
Well, what are we going to do?
I'll tell you what, legal aid is backed up. We cannot afford an attorney right now.
I'm out of here.
You're out of here. Where are you going, Jim?
I'm going to the meeting.
Meeting? Oh my, you guys are not going on strike.
Listen, honey, don't give me a hard time. You know, it's not like I'm gonna rob a drugstore or a liquor store or something.
This payment's due. We're due in court in 2 days, Jim.
Well, that'll help pay the mortgage.
Oh. Well, you know what? Whatever you decide, I support you.
Thanks, Deb. Maybe just a threat of a strike will be enough.
We'll see.
Leslie,
I'm here.
Leslie, it's supper time.
Oh,
Where you going?
well, Miss Hattie, I'm getting ready. You know, I'm getting
No,
ready.
don't tell me about any about that Occupy Youngstown or is it union business? It's supper time. Sit down. It's time for you to eat your supper.
Miss Hattie, I should have told you earlier, but I have to go down.
No, sit down. Let me talk to you for a minute. Sit
Miss
down.
Hattie, look.
Sit down. Sit down.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to talk to you. Now, you know you like my son. That's away in the service.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you done been in prison this 2 times. And I want to tell you, you getting ready to go over here with that union business and stuff. I wasn't always a landlady. I was a union president. I see what goes on those strike lines. You have a record, so they're going to target you. You've been in there 2 times. The 3rd time, they're going to throw away the key.
Miss Hattie.
Now, I want you to promise me something. No, I want you to tell me, but promises are made to be broken. I want you to tell me straight out that if you go to this strike line, you'll stay at the back. Because I know those goons will target you.
Miss Hattie, let me explain to you. And I agree with you. I shouldn't go for the things that has happened to me for being involved with union business. But here's one thing why I shouldn't go. You know what? Back in the 80s, the late 80s, I was part of a group called WATCH, Workers Against Toxic Chemical Hazards. And we exposed the chemical poisoning of the workers at the GM Youngstown plant. And during that time, we were directed to a union hall in Hubbard by then Attorney Stoughton Lynn. And that was the very first union meeting that I had ever went to. And when I walked into that meeting, the very first thing I heard, it was this old guy, silver hair, black guy. He was sitting in the back, and all the noise was going on. And Congressman Jim Truck and all the union leaders and representatives from steel mills companies were on stage. And he hollered, "They're treating us like niggers." And everyone turned and said, "Yeah!" And I thought to myself, well, you know, he must have did that very same thing. But you know what? Just because everyone there was human beings, I kept going. And I suffered. I suffered dearly for what I did for the workers that did on those. And another thing, I learned in prison. I learned survival. I learned how to keep my mind. I learned that human beings are human beings. No matter how one treats another, we are all human beings. We deserve dignity. And that's why I have to go hear what Lefty has to say.
But that's why I'm telling you to stay at the back. I don't want you to go, but I'm asking you if you go to stay at the back. So they won't be able to target you.
Well, yes, ma'am. I will see you there, Miss Hattie.
Okay.
Hi, my boy, how are you? It's nice seeing you at the Royal Oaks here. I thought they shut this place down years ago.
Should have.
I thought so too.
So what's on your mind there, Sean? You look troubled, you look worried. Who, well, who do we have here?
Hey, what did I get for you guys today?
I have the usual, but make it a double.
Okay.
Me too. A double, Sean. What's wrong?
Well, I'm thinking about all that time we spent in the mill with all those guys. I just can't seem to get them out of my head.
You mean you actually miss that place? You miss those guys?
Yeah, I do. But Joe, that old iron house is a mean son of a bitch of a place. People die in there. All them chemicals, and even if you do make it out alive, it takes 5 or maybe 10 years off your life. But you know what? I do miss it.
You miss it. Sean, what are you, nuts? Sean, we're retired. R-E-T-I-R-E-D. Retired! We're crying out loud.
That's true. What I miss is the people, the horsing around, the saying good morning. What'd you do last night that made you look so bad today? Besides, on the night shift, with no white hats around, we raised all sorts of hell and still seem to get our work done. I mean, using the furnace to barbecue an in-between meal, or for that matter, just sleeping. It was like a family at work.
Hey, you know what, Sean? Yeah, you're right. I do miss those days. You were like all one big happy family. But you know what? We really cared for each other. What you were going through was the same thing I was going through. When my problems were your problems. And we worked them all out together. That's the way that it was.
And now those poor bastards are going to risk everything for what little they have to try to get something better.
Well, what choice do we have? What are we going to do?
Well, Joe, I have a crazy idea.
Oh, Christ, Sean, now what?
Well, first of all, do you remember Ed Mann and Joe Barbero? Right there at Briar Hill, stewards and then president, vice president of the local. Ed used to say there's a better way. We didn't think it was right for one guy to be put on the street and the guy hired just 1 hour behind him, working all that overtime. And John used to say he was lucky in World War II. He never had to kill anybody. And after the war, he married Mayo. She was Japanese.
You know, I remember her. I remember her well. So, what's this crazy idea there, Sean?
You know, the guys are getting ready to go on strike. It's not such a bad time to do it. All the fracking, the company is under pressure to make a lot of pipe and sell it quick. Who knows when our Republican governor or maybe the feds will wise up and put them all in jail. But for now, these companies want to make hay, green-colored hay with George Washington's picture on it with little and no consequences.
And so,
That's its exact